What's up guys, Andrew Baena here, and I'm moving today. So this is the last time you're gonna see my setup in this room. I'm moving into a apartment. So I don't know if you guys remember, but right now my studio space is actually just in a giant room that's like a kitchen, living room, and my studio all in one room. So in this new place, I'm actually gonna have my own room, so I'll have like a real home studio. So anyways, this is the last time you guys are gonna see this spot looking like that behind me. Let's see what the new place looks like. All right guys, so here we are in the brand new place, new studio setup. So I'm gonna show you guys what this new studio looks like. It's all pretty much the same gear as the old place. Actually, it's the exact same gear as the last place. But I have a lot of new stuff that I didn't talk about in my 2017 home studio tour, so this is the perfect time to do a new one. All right guys, so this is it. This is the brand new space. Same gear as the old place obviously, but arranged very differently. So I'll go over everything you can see in this video one by one in a second here, but that's what the overall space looks like. Pretty fancy. And the thing I'm most excited about, honestly though, is having a giant blank wall. Because from now on, I'm going to be filming all my videos on this wall here. Because I always think that videos look way better when they're in front of a plain background, and now I can actually do that. So that's why all the gear is sitting over to one corner and there's nothing really over here. So I guess what we'll do now is I'll kind of talk about the gear starting from the guitars to the computer and all the other hardware I got going on here. So let's begin with the guitars. Alright, so I have a guitar rack here which contains 7 guitars, as you can see. I ran out of space, so one guitar is hanging out over there, but I'll talk about that one last. So the way I have it arranged here is the first guitar is a Fast Guitars Roamer 6-string. This is the one I got last year. So it's the Jazzmaster style body, which they call the Roamer. This one has a Buckeye Burl maple top, Swamp Ash body. Actually, all of them have Swamp Ash body. It's got DiMarzio, DiMarzio Titan pickups, single volume, single tone, and a 3-way toggle switch. Pretty simple. Block inlays. Thing sounds amazing. I don't really play 6-string guitar that much, but when I do, this thing is an absolute joy to play. Alright, next up on the rack is my Fast Guitars 7-string Orion. This one is all Swamp Ash, other than the neck and the fingerboard. Fingerboard is ebony. Again, on all my Fast Guitars, the fingerboard is ebony, and on all of them, the body is Swamp Ash. So on this one, we got kind of a you can't really see it very well, unfortunately, but it is a stained black Swamp Ash body, and all those little green lines there are actually glow in the dark, as do all the fret dots and the side dots on the other side, which you can't see, also glow in the dark. So we were just trying something new out with this guitar. Unfortunately, it doesn't glow as brightly as I hope that it would, but it's still very cool. This one has 2 volume knobs and 1 tone knob. If I were to redo this guitar, I definitely would get rid of those because I never even used the tone knobs, so having 2 of them is kind of weird. Or sorry, 2 volume knobs is kind of weird. I would have rather just had 1, but I didn't think of that when I was ordering the guitar, so oh well. This one has Fast Guitars OEM pickups. Again, Swamp Ash body, like I said. I believe the neck is a roasted maple neck with Venge stringers. Not sure if you can see that. There's a stripe of Venge in there. I think it's called Venge. This one has, what are these? These are Godot locking tuners. All the other ones have Hipshot locking tuners. This one was kind of like a trial guitar where I was trying out some specs to figure out what I liked. So yeah, that's why that one has Godot. The rest of them have Hipshot. All right, next up is the first Fast guitar I ever got, which is still my favorite, I think. It is my Roamer 8-string. So this one again, Hipshot locking tuners, which you can see on the back. Open gear. This one has a spalted maple top, which has a like black to green to yellow burst finish. Again, Swamp Ash body, white binding, ebony fretboard. This one is a fan fret 27 to 25.5 inch scale. It also has custom slanted bare knuckle cold sweat pickups, single volume, single tone, and a 3-way switch. Again, this one has a roasted maple neck with a Vengay stringer, or 2 Vengay stringers I should say. Very, very nice. Still probably my favorite guitar and the one that I use the most. Alright, so I'm gonna hop over from the rack to talk about this one over here because this is my 4th and final fast guitar. This one I just got, so you might have seen it in my recent videos, but this is my fast guitar's 9-string. It is an absolute beast. Again, Swamp Ash body. This time I went for a little bit more of a traditional quilted maple top, which looks absolutely amazing. I'm so happy with how this one turned out. It also has a bird's eye maple board. You can see some of the figuring there perhaps if it focuses. There you go. Bird's eye maple board with perloid inlays. So with this one, it was kind of an experiment because it's already so ridiculous as a 9-string. I didn't want to go too overkill with all the details, or sorry, all the features. So that's why, you know, the inlays don't stick out a ton on the maple. It's already a fanfare, it's already a 9-string. I didn't want to make it too crazy, but it does have this insane white bridge, which I didn't even know he was going to be able to do. Kevin Fast, who's the owner of Fast Guitars, actually initially it was his idea to put the white bridge on, and then during the building process he told me it couldn't be done because he couldn't figure out how to make it work. And then he sent me the pictures and all of a sudden it actually had it on there after all. So that was a very nice surprise. This time around I finally got rid of the tone knob. So this just has a single volume and a 3-way, I think maybe, was it 3 or 5? Wait, let's see. Yeah, 3-way pickup selector. I don't really care that much about having a bunch of tonal options and pickups, to be honest with you guys. I pretty much always use the bridge pickup anyways. And I was honestly very tempted just to have a bridge pickup, but just in case I put a neck one in there too. The holes in the fretboards for all of these guitars, by the way, are truss rod adjustments. I get tons of questions about that. And no, you cannot feel them because when you play guitar, you don't actually touch the string to the fretboard anyways, so you can't even tell that those are there. I also have a custom inlay here, which I'm very, very proud of and very happy how that came out. Looks absolutely beautiful. And that's pretty much it for this guitar. Oh yeah, it's also a, what are the scale lengths on this? This is a 28-inch to 30-inch scale length fanfret design. So it's pretty extreme, but to handle the low C sharp, the 30-inch is unbeatable in my opinion. Alright, so hopping back over to the rack, next up we have the cheapest guitar in my collection, which is a Squier vintage modified baritone Jazzmaster. Very, very long name. I don't know all the specs of this because I just picked it up off a shelf, but as far as I know, it's just a plain maple neck all the way through. It does have a stripe of something in it. I have no idea what. I assume it's probably Vengay. The fretboard is rosewood with these big block inlays, which are beautiful. I love block inlays, as you can tell by my other guitars. Jazzmaster body shape. A lot of people hate the finish on this, which is called the Antigua burst, I think. I personally love it. Looks kind of like a frog to me. Some guy called it a baby diarrhea burst, which I guess I can also see, but yeah. For an off-the-shelf guitar, it's really awesome. I was not expecting the pickups on here to be so crazy sounding. So these are just the stock Squier pickups, which are like Duncan designed Jazzmaster style pickups. I was expecting them to sound terrible, but they're actually pretty awesome. I've been tempted to throw like a set of Fishmans or something in here, but honestly I'm really scared of changing anything on this guitar because I really, really like how it sounds. Yeah, single tone, single volume, 3-way pickup selector. The worst thing about this guitar in my opinion is the bridge. It's super weird, and it's top loading, which really sucks because I had to find a set of strings that didn't have a taper because, as you can see there, if the string has a taper, it is bad news because the taper will go like all the way up to here, and that is no good when you want to play. But very cool guitar for the money. I think it's like $500 or something like that. Alright, next up is the oldest guitar in my collection, meaning the guitar I've had the longest, which is not that long at all. I got this in 2015. I don't play it as much anymore, but I still like it a lot. It is a Kiesel Vader from 2015. Kiesel Racing Green finish, 27-inch, so it's a baritone headless guitar, obviously. Zebra wood fretboard, which looks amazing. Kiesel lithium pickups, all stock from when I got it. I never changed anything on it because I liked it so much. And I still do like it a lot, but I just never play it, unfortunately. So it just has a one-piece maple neck. I know there's some carbon rods in there somewhere. I think that this is it's a neck through, so the maple neck goes all the way through the body, I should say. And then the two pieces on the side, the body wings, are swamp ash, chambered swamp ash. So yeah, very cool guitar. I don't use it that much, but I also can't bring myself to sell it. Because every time I almost sell it, I feel like crying. So that's probably a pretty good time to not sell it. So it's still here. All right, we're getting to the end of the guitars here. The second last one, you guys have seen this one a lot lately. This is the Solar Guitars A 2.7. Yeah, very cool guitar. This is my second most recent guitar here. Ola England really hooked me up with this one with a nice little artist discount. Very, very thankful to him for that. These guitars are so cool, man. Like, for the amount of money that he's charging, these are amazing. If I was to buy, actually I probably will buy another one someday, especially one of the Evertune ones. But it's all bone stock. It's got the Duncan Solar pickups, his own British design. Got that awesome custom inlay there. Ola England's symbol, if you can see that, if it focuses. There you go. Ebony board. Yeah, very cool. Very simple, just plain white. It's matte white actually, not gloss, which I like. I always kind of like matte finishes more, but you know, matte finishes basically turn to gloss anyways if you play them long enough, so yeah. But for now, it's very cool. I got a chip in the body within like literally 10 minutes of opening it, which I was very upset about. I think it's over there somewhere. You can't really see it though, so that's good news, I guess. But yeah, very cool guitar. Would definitely recommend you get one if you're looking at a new 7-string or 6-string. Alright, and the final guitar in my collection is my Justin Lowe tribute to guitar. So if you don't know who Justin Lowe is, he is the guitarist and one of the founding members of the band After the Burial. He passed away a few years ago, I believe in 2015, unfortunately. And he is one of my favorite guitarists of all time. The reason I started playing 8-string guitar was because of After the Burial, and the reason I have an obsession with neon green guitars is because of Justin Lowe. So, what I did was I bought a used Ibanez RG852 Prestige 8-string on Reverb for a very good price. I think it was like $800 or something like that, which is a crazy, crazy deal. It was a little banged up, had a bunch of finish damage, and the guy had put in like different pickups and stuff like that. But I didn't really care because my intention with it all along was to get it refinished in this beautiful neon green finish, just like Justin Lowe had. So yeah, specs are just the stock Ibanez RG852 specs. So it's got Goto locking tuners in this nice kind of, I don't know what to call that. It's like a metallic black or something. Got the Prestige logo on there, which I ordered off eBay. It's got a rosewood fretboard, maple neck with Venge stripes, stringers, whatever you call them. I put in the Seymour Duncan black oats in this guitar because from my research, that appears to be what Justin Lowe used most of the time. So I got those. Justin Lowe did use an RG2228, but the RG852 is basically the same, except without that weird, stupid bridge. And also this was just too good of a deal to pass up. I did a little bit of a different thing here. I got rid of the tone knob and replaced it with a Iron Age kill switch. So when you plug it in, actually I'll show you if I can do it here. when you plug it in, it lights up like that, and you can press it for a momentary kill switch. Very cool. And of course it's neon green as well. Alright, so moving on from the guitars, now we'll go over to the guitar gear, which there's also a lot of. So recently I decided to try out using a real amp and pedal stuff. So this is what I settled on. I have an EVH 5153 50 watt amp. The reason I chose this amp in particular is because on my Kemper, as you can see, I already always use a 5150 53 blah blah blah. It's a tongue twister to say, but I already basically use this amp anyways, or a profile of it I should say. So I thought I would get the real deal and see if I liked it any better. I still don't know if I'm actually going to keep this or not, or just go back to using digital for live shows, because right now I still use the Kemper to record literally everything, and this is just for live shows and practice, or that's the plan at least. So it seems kind of silly to have it just sitting here, but I don't know, we'll see. I'll try it out for the first time live tomorrow night and see if I like it or not. But yeah, so you guys already know what it is. Not really much to talk about here. This is one of the older versions. I got it for a really good deal off of Craigslist. The previous owner had a beautiful Jazzmaster sticker on the gain knob, so I chose to leave that there because I thought it was funny. That is sitting on top of a Panama cabinet. This one is a little weird. It's kind of hard to see, but there's actually two different sizes of speakers in that cab. So it's not a 212, but it's actually a 12 on the left and a 10 on the right. So it's called the extended range cabinet, and I guess the thought process behind it was for extended range guitar users it kind of maybe made sense to have one bass speaker, one guitar speaker, so that's what they did basically. Yeah, and they were kind enough to send this over to me to use whenever I wanted, and I've used it ever since they sent it to me, and I really like it. So yeah, it's got a couple cracks in it due to being on the road, but it's served me very well so far. On top of the amp, I have a few pedals. None of them are plugged in right now because I don't have a pedal board, so I'm kind of just carrying these around loosely at the moment, which kind of sucks, but again, I don't know if I'm actually going to keep all this stuff or not yet, so I figured there's no point of getting a pedal board until I'm sure. But in the meantime, from left to right, I have an ISP Decimator 2 noise gate, noise reduction pedal, pretty standard, nothing fancy. Then I have a Chord Pitch Black Polytuner, again just a tuner pedal, nothing too interesting there. And then I have the whammy pedal, Digitech whammy pedal. Everyone kind of knows what this is already. It's a lot of fun to play with. For now, pretty much what I'm using it for is on the 2 octave up option, just to get those really high-pitched screeching sounds. It's a lot of fun. Again, I've not used any of this stuff live yet, so we'll see how that goes tomorrow. I also have a Kemper switch. Very simple, it's just an A-B switch. If I want to switch between tones on the Kemper, I have that as well. And then I have a bunch of cables over here for pedals and whatnot. Nothing too interesting. Moving on to the Kemper. This is what I use to record literally everything on my channel since I got it in, I think, 2015 or 2016, I can't remember, but absolutely love the Kemper. It is probably my most valued piece of gear. I think without it I would be absolutely fucked. So very, very happy to have one of these. I also have a Horizon Devices Precision Drive right there, which is going to the front of the Kemper. I literally use this for everything that is distorted. I find it sounds really good. It's a little bit of a subtle change, but it definitely is noticeable enough that I want to keep using it all the time. I literally only turn it off when I'm doing like clean tones or leads, obviously because the noise gate is pretty extreme, and I don't necessarily want a noise gate on a clean tone or a lead tone. So yeah, that's pretty much always on for rhythm tones. Again, on the Kemper, I pretty much always have it on a 5153 50 watt profile of some sort. On top of that, I have the Nexus 2 software which has nothing to do with guitars, but that's what I use for synths and stuff like that. I have a friend who works at ReFX, and he was kind enough to help me out getting a copy, and it's very cool. So the Kemper and all that stuff runs into a very, very simple Scarlett 2i2 interface. It is super cheap. It was under $100 used, and it's perfect. I don't record anything fancy. You know, I always only have 2 inputs for tones, and if I ever do vocals, I just unplug one and plug a mic in instead. It's very simple. I have headphones going in there, which are these over here, which are just some basic Audio-Technica headphones. They're nothing that fancy. They were just like $100 or something like that. I don't even know what model they were. They were on sale on Boxing Day one year, so I grabbed them. Then I used the KRK Rocket 8 monitors. A lot of people say that these monitors kind of suck. I think they sound good, which I guess is part of the problem, because you technically don't want your monitors to sound good, because otherwise everything will sound good to you and it might not sound good to someone else, which I totally understand. But I got the pair of these for less than the cost of one of them brand new, so I couldn't refuse the offer. Other one is over there, obviously. That's pretty much it in terms of recording. So it's pretty simple. Headphones and the inputs into the Kemper go in there, and then that gets sent to the KRKs. And then obviously the USB out goes to my PC, which is on the floor here. I don't remember the specs of this off the top of my head. What I do remember is it has some kind of an i7 processor. It has, I think, 8 gigs of RAM, or pretty sure 8 gigs of RAM. Has a 1 terabyte hard drive with a 100 gigabyte SSD drive, I think. Maybe less. I can't remember. What else? It has a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 960 graphics card, so not that great. Definitely want to upgrade that ASAP, because I have a 4K. I have 2 4K cameras and 2 4K monitors, but my computer cannot render 4K, and it also can't output 4K without lagging. So kind of ironic. I upgraded everything 4K except for the computer, so I don't know really why I did that. Speaking of monitors, I have 2 of them. They're not matching because I got them both on sale separately, because I like to bargain hunt. So they don't match, but you know, they're good enough. I think this one is an LG something. They're both 27-inch. This one's LG, or no, sorry, yeah, no, this one's LG. This one's Samsung. I don't know the exact models, it doesn't really matter. The LG definitely looks a lot better, so I use that almost all the time, and I just use this kind of whatever for web browsing or for mixing audio and editing audio. I don't really need it to be very good color-wise, so I just use that. But for video editing, I always use this one for to preview what the videos look like, and I kind of edit over on that one, which is kind of nice. I have a bunch of extra little things lying around here or there. I have like a Cooler Master keyboard and mouse, which obviously light up neon green, because yeah, you know why, it's green, of course. I have a Blue Yeti microphone there, which I use for like live streams and stuff like that. Don't use it very often, which is why it's not even plugged in right now. I have a little tin full of picks right there. I have a GoPro Hero 5 Session right there. I don't use that very often, but it's come in handy multiple times, and it's really, really good for doing videos of live shows and stuff like that. This isn't really part of the gear, but I also have a Samsung Galaxy S8. I don't know if that matters or not. On top of the computer, I have a bunch of random shit. I have like a SD card reader for my camera. I have an external hard drive back there. Xbox One controller to play games, because I cannot use a keyboard and mouse because I'm a noob. Got a little smartwatch, I guess, and a couple random charging cables hanging down there. That's pretty much it for my studio tour. Hopefully you guys found this interesting. Let me know if I didn't talk about something that you would have liked to hear me talk about, because I'm sure I missed something. Yeah, just leave me a comment in the description below. No, that doesn't make sense. Leave me a comment down below, and I'll try and answer as many questions as possible. And I look forward to making many videos in this brand new place. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.